Okay. Oh, so today we're gonna watch another nice little video. It's going to be Shrek 2 gets darker the older you get. Okay. By Type 2 Productions. Oh, small thing. I watched was what was another I did the the what was the Lord Farquaad was right when, but we're gonna do this one now.
I used to fall
Oh wait, hold up, wait, whoopsie.
asleep to that movie almost every night as a kid. I was like Will Smith from I Am Legend, where I could just quote every line because of that. Yet going back and watching the film again with adult eyes, I just can't help but notice
Also, please do tell me, what do you think about my cute little lion here? I hate to judge you. But anyway, let's go. Get back to it.
the horrible messaging of the movie.
I noticed right at the beginning, just like the first movie, the traditional European fairy tale story gets immediately subverted.
Yeah, they're not subtle about telling you that that's going to happen. I mean, the first movie begins with the fairy tale story being used as toilet paper, and this one's not too much different.
Well, and it's even funnier considering that a lot of classic European fairy tales are built on teaching morality and giving warnings. Examples that come to mind are Little Red Riding Hood and the message of beware of strangers, or The Three Little Pigs and the message of be prepared. Stuff like beware of strangers just can't fly
That's like
today, and
Carl.
we've got to shut down that kind of messaging.
Oh, right. Like every kid's movie that's
Okay, hold up. Let me go back. Okay, let me go back. Okay. This looks like fucking Carl from Jimmy Neutron. Um, which is surprising. Surprising they doing a freaking Jimmy Neutron reference here. Um, it's just hilarious.
Can't fly today, and we've got to shut down that kind of messaging.
Oh, right. Like every kid's movie that's made now has the exact opposite message. Accept everyone. Be wary of no one. They're all good.
Give your life so that the outgroup can succeed. And there are things behind the scenes that kind of co-sign this. Ted Elliott and Terry Rossio, the screenwriters and co-producers of the first film, insisted that the sequel would be a more traditional fairy tale, but after disagreements with the producers, they left the project and were replaced by Andrew Adamson. And really the main culprit, the executive
I can't remember much of Shrek 2. I I I, I think I remember the first Shrek, but I mean, I don't think I ever got around to like the second one. Maybe I've seen like parts of it or whatever, but I mean, uh, hold on. I know I saw like a little bit of the third one where what's his name, the where Donkey and Shrek go get the the new king or prince or whatever, far away or whatever. um I I don't see like parts of it. I could swear I saw like parts of it. I don't know if I see like the whole damn thing. It's been like years.
producer Jeffrey Katzenberg wanted to make the movies edgier, less PG, and more adult, and he already had a history of this in the past with Toy Story. He was the guy that was pushing for Woody to be more evil in the first Toy Story and almost got it shut down.
This explains a
That
lot
would
of
be
the
cool.
decisions that were made in Shrek 2 because Prince Charming goes on the traditional hero's journey to find the princess, only to be met by a cross dressing furry. So, like, immediately we're off to a bad start. It's almost like there's this deliberate
Yeah,
attempt
okay, Prince Charming. Yeah, okay. Wait, no. No. I'm thinking wrong.
to subvert Western values, tradition, and culture through soft power. But we all know media would never do that. But I
We
think
can't
all
have
this is
family
evidenced by the
values
fact
here.
that Shrek goes on pretty much the opposite of the hero's journey. Like, he goes to far, far away only to discover that he's perfect just the way that he is. And he essentially goes on the same arc that he had in the first movie. He doesn't grow morally or learn a valuable truth. He simply gets reassured and affirmed by the people around him that he's
Okay, wait, wait, in Shrek 2000, okay, wait, but in Shrek 2001, Donkey reveals that he's colorblind. This explains why he's the only one not afraid of Shrek, since he just sees him as a normal guy with ears. See, Rosa red with blue rose with blue rose, red rose, blue rose, red thorns, blue rose, red thorns, blue rose, red thorns. This would be much easier if I wasn't colorblind. For a fun fact, I am colorblind, and I do and I do not and I do not tend wait, and I do tend not to see green skin. Green skin characters like Yoda, for example, just look Caucasian to me in terms of skin tone. Okay, okay makes sense.
Enough even as an ogre. And if anything, to me, this movie warns against growth or self-improvement of any kind.
The first major point I want to look at is that one of the film's core messages is be yourself. Now, the problem with this message is it lacks any sort of nuance. And an issue is that the film conflates who you are with how you look.
Right.
Far
Fiona
away.
is not happy because Shrek, quote, is acting like an ogre. Those are Fiona's words. So what does Shrek do? Oh, she must think I'm ugly. It's like, what? Hold up. There's a bit of a disconnect here.
She's upset about my behavior. Let me get a makeover.
And that's, in essence, the be yourself message of the movie.
Even when Shrek is magically transformed physically, he still acts the same as an ogre. And this also goes for Fiona and Donkey. They physically change throughout the film, but their behavior remains the same.
Well, and Donkey even
Hollywood.
remarks that that's true. I mean, watch this
Wanna be
clip.
Hollywood.
You are a lot easier on the eyes, but inside you're still the same old mean, salty, cantankerous, stanky,
All right, then.
foul, angry ogre you always been.
And you're still the
Damn.
same annoying donkey.
Yeah.
And speaking of behaviors, in the real world, if a majority of members of certain groups consistently display poor behavior, should they not stop being themselves and actually improve? Is that not reasonable? The movie's clearly trying to stress the importance of self-acceptance, yet we see it's very selective of when it's appropriate to do so. I have two examples here that are basically the inverse of each other. You have King Harold, who greatly improved his lot in life and got the girl of his dreams by not being himself. Instead of showing us how he should have embraced his true frog self, he gets to have his cake and eat it too, because he's still accepted by his wife and his kingdom as a frog.
What's incredible, too, is whenever the villagers of Far, Far Away see this, they don't immediately exile him and banish him for the bamboozling that he pulled on all of them.
But contrast that with Fiona. Her true self is human, yet the movie treats it as a good thing that she abandons that core identity to become an ogre. And it's really funny when you consider that her becoming an ogre is literally a curse that was thrust onto her against her will,
Yeah.
and yet it's treated as a good thing that she embraces this new identity. I think the surface level interpretation of what this movie has to say about beauty is kind of the classic principle of beauty's only skin deep, but it
Okay, okay. Princess Fiona, freaking when I was younger, quite frank, still now, quite frank, still to me, she's fucking hot. She's fucking hot. Quite frank, take away the ogre side, and quite frank, this is just a hot body. Just
completely
a
undercuts
pure-
that message.
A pure fucking hot ass body. She's got the nice, probably a little bit of red hairishness into her. Got the feistiness, you know. She's just fine. She's just fine. Though I picked quite frank, a terrible freaking pause, a terrible time to pause, because quite frank, that's enough. Take this image right here and just have it looking at you. Just think about this looking at you. It's enough to give you nightmares, quite frank. Enough to make you shit
by the characters'
shit your brain.
actions we see in
Shit
the
your
movie.
bed, my bad.
And it kind of makes me think that they're just trying to subconsciously attack conventional beauty standards.
One of the things I learned in the Google Project Management Certificate was
Google.
agile methodology.
Google.
It's a good thing to go from white to green, but not green to white.
But what's funny is we don't apply that same logic consistently. What about Prince Charming? I mean, he was promised Fiona and the kingdom if he upheld his end of the bargain by saving Fiona, which he tried to do until
He failed. Okay, he didn't get there in time. So I mean,
he discovered that Shrek had taken her away. And from what we know, he grew up fatherless and with a controlling mother. Yet whenever he's understandably a bit immature, it's not okay for him to be himself.
Well, isn't that crazy messaging that Charming's a bad guy because he's a little vain and self-absorbed, yet Shrek treats Far Far Away like he's playing Grand Theft Auto, and they all treat him like it's no big
He's the
deal.
king.
He demonstrates multiple times he only cares about the well-being of himself and Fiona, yet the story still treats him like a hero for it, while Charming is this villain simply because he wanted what he was promised.
Let's see. I squeeze with I'll squeeze I'll squeeze the jelly from your eyes. Hello, yeah, oh, you're so sweet. Wait, good day to you, my lady. Oh, hello, human resources. Yeah.
Also, take into consideration that King Harold's entire arc in this film is used to subtly reinforce the idea that we're all outsiders, and that disapproving of outsiders is not only bigotry but projection. Because after all, Far Far Away is just a collection of ideas, it's just a melting pot.
Oh, where have I heard that term before?
Finding out that he's actually a frog turned into the king via fairy godmother's potions makes his disapproval of Shrek very akin to the common leftist attack of you only hate gays because you're gay, which is hilarious because they don't even think that's wrong. What's the own here? Deep down, they all know something that we all know, which is that crap is weird.
What? Putting stuff up your bum's weird?
What's even the logic here? Is the logic here that if you dislike racist, you must be a racist? Like, how far do we take this?
They'll never answer that question. It's like, well, you hate kid lovers.
Okay, wait. You ain't ready for that. Wait, you ain't ready for that question, big dog.
Don't you?
Yeah, you can take that to some dark places, and of course, they'll never recognize the absurd nature of it because it's only used as a weapon to beat you into submission and no more. That's all this is. That's all it's ever been. And I think the end game is very clear, and you can see it even in the movie. Harold eventually approving of Shrek and even sacrificing his life to save him from Fairy Godmother is the writer's not so subtle way of telling you that the highest good that one can attain is to sacrifice your life, country, happiness, and even your own family for the sake of an outsider, even if he's a blight on your society.
Okay, wait. No people. No in group preference. White people. I'm guessing Tom's the white people. I guess.
Society and is actively ruining it.
Nothing Shrek is doing in this movie benefits King Harold. It actively hurts him in many ways, and yet by the end of the film, we're told King Harold's penance and redemption for the mistake he made of making the deal with Fairy Godmother is to take a bullet for Shrek. Another point to look at here is that Shrek being himself is why he is so despised in Far Far Away, and justifiably so.
Right. When you make no attempt to reform your behavior around the people that you're around and to assimilate to their culture and manner of living, what do you think's going to happen?
Take King.
Okay. Basically, it's like how when U.S. citizens go over to Japan, want to act complete fucking donkeys and don't know how to fucking act properly, and have respect for Japan culture, and just want to be ignorant little fucking shits and rude and disgusting. And then Japan sits there and says, "Hey, wait a minute, we don't like you doing this in our fucking country. Show your goddamn fucking respect, you fucking foreigners, you damn fucking foreigners, you. We don't like that you're sitting there being disrespectful to our country and our way of life. Oh no, too bad, yada yada yada. Well, get the fuck on out. We don't want you here. Oh, how dare you kick us out?" Basically that.
King Harold, his disapproval of Shrek is depicted as unreasonable, yet, consider this, Harold and Lillian handpicked Prince Charming for Fiona to marry, and Shrek unknowingly ruined all those plans.
Oh.
Furthermore, Shrek is validating Fiona's antisocial behavior and undermining the values given to her by her parents. And most importantly, Fiona sharing true love's kiss with Shrek means that her curse is now permanent. Like, this is the worst case scenario for her parents, and yet we're told that they just need to accept it.
Right. Like, why would they be happy about this? Why would they accept this? Because, I mean, at the core of all of
that's very, very bad. Oh, damn. I mean, okay. I mean, I can see how bad this is for both sides. Okay, one. Okay. For the king as a frog, right? Harold. I think his name is Harold. Okay, you sign up a deal for the fairy godmother, for you, I guess, to get for him to probably he got his kingdom and everything like that, and his wife and all that stuff, right? Um, I'm gonna sell my daughter off to Prince Charming, to Prince Charming, for I guess her son or blah blah or her son I guess or whatever, wherever the fuck he is. Um, and those two can be happily ever after, or whatever. I mean, to me, I mean, that seems quite stupid. One, why? I mean, that sounds like terrible. You're gonna sell your daughter. You're gonna sell your daughter down the river like that. Oh yeah, we sell. I got what I wanted. Sell it down the river. This is her Prince Charming and all that stuff. That way, she'll never be alone and everything like that.
Of these characters, Harold, Lily, and Fiona, their motivation as characters can essentially be boiled.
Hold up. Okay. Um, for the person on BitChute, you know who you are. Um, by all means, if you do, let me freaking have, just say, let me have it. Because quite frankly, I have not watched this movie, the Shrek 2, any damn way. So, I mean, I can probably find it on YouTube. I should probably look it up and see if I can find it on YouTube. Um, but, you know, just let me have explain everything, quite frank. But anyway, for persons too, if you want to, you can for people who watch it too, you can explain it too. It don't matter.
Boiled down to desiring to see the curse dispelled, yet Shrek comes along and makes it permanent.
What parents in their right mind would want to see their daughter turned into a different species? When I look at King Harold in this movie, he really is just a vehicle for them to spell out to you that we're all outsiders and should all accept each other 100% no matter how we behave. And him being a fairy tale creature himself is just the icing on top.
Well, he's not the only one that hates Shrek for who he is and for being himself. Fairy Godmother also hates Shrek. Now, like with King Harold, Shrek...
Okay, huh. I have to wonder. I have to wonder. Okay. If Fiona's permanently a ogre, is Donkey permanently a horse? I'm curious.
Shrek unintentionally foils Fairy Godmother's plans for her future and for her son, but Fairy Godmother's operating from a very reasonable perspective in which she says ogres don't live happily ever after. It's not just blind hatred that's informing that, because whenever Shrek comes to her in the middle of the movie, she comes out and says to Shrek that she thinks Fiona isn't happy because she's with an ogre and not with Prince Charming. Now think whatever you will about Fairy Godmother, but she uses the evidence available to her to reinforce her disdain for Shrek and his goals. I mean, she reads through these various fairy tale books and comes to the conclusion based on this information that ogres don't live happily ever after. Meaning, her hatred for Shrek isn't blind hatred, it's...
Okay, but okay, she can say that. She can say that. But all she's using as evidence is books. Is there like actual like physical evidence, and plus even if there's physical evidence in quotations, right? Can't some people, I don't know, freaking live on their own, be peaceful? I mean it's a chance that an ogre can, be fucking different, right? I mean, right?
based off the present information that she has available to her, so she draws a very reasonable conclusion and does not want him interfering and dislikes him. And more than just hating him for who he is, Fairy Godmother has every right to hate Shrek for what he does. I mean, consider what Shrek does to this woman. Shrek trespasses into Fairy Godmother's factory, steals from her, vandalizes her property, turns her workers into birds. And you may say, oh, well, Shrek's justified in doing this, but Shrek had no idea that Fairy Godmother was the one who had Harold hire Puss in Boots to kill him. And he doesn't know any of that when he vandalizes her factory.
Well, and furthermore, the disguise that he and Donkey and Puss use to sneak in is that they're there like almost like a union to fight for the workers who are clearly exploited. And he's so careless. He turns them into birds, likely ruining their lives, which are already not great. And the film just plays it as like, ah, haha, Shrek, you silly rascal.
Yep.
You destroyed her factory and ruined a bunch of people's lives.
Well, that's one of the consistent themes you see throughout really the entire series that is Shrek. Is Shrek's happily ever after comes at the cost of everyone else's, and the movie somehow paints him as a hero for it.
Oh, and it only gets worse in Shrek 3. The citizens of Far, Far Away also aren't huge fans of Shrek, and it makes perfect sense. He's an ogre, so it stands to reason they wouldn't exactly be thrilled about him marrying the princess of their kingdom and turning her into an ogre too. But Somehow, magically, they are all okay with Shrek after Fairy Godmother's death. And even worse, after Harold takes a magical bullet for Shrek, they find out their king is a literal frog, and the townspeople are all perfectly fine with it. No objections. This really feels like subtle reinforcement that quote-unquote good people have a responsibility to accept others, even when they have to pay an insane amount of tax dollars just to keep the leering sinners open.
Oh, lyric. Oh gosh, not the lyric. Guys, I'm leering now. I'm so leering now.
Like with the first movie, somehow Shrek has the gall to be offended when everyone hates him, not only because of his nature, but also because of his.
Okay. Also, okay. If you don't know about the leering centers, all you gotta do is just look them up, and you'll understand.
His actions, because his actions reinforce his nature.
If you're in the states, if you're not, I'd say probably don't worry about it.
And Shrek is hated because of his nature, and for good reason too. He's an ogre. What do we expect? Like in the movie, the people scowl at Shrek when they first see that he's an ogre. And Harold even says it is in his nature to be a bit of a brute. And even Fairy Godmother herself would say ogres don't live happily ever after. Which again, all of this is evidenced by the information you have within the movie. People recognize ogres are what they are. But then Shrek confirms what people think about his nature by showing people who he really is. So in other words, his actions only confirm his nature and show that he isn't one of the good ones.
He's an ogre with a soft A.
You're behaving.
I mean, look. Okay. Shrek could have dressed up a little bit. He could have dressed up a teeny bit, but he didn't even do that. He's still in the same clothes from the first Shrek.
You're behaving like a.
Go on, say it.
Like an.
We have a long journey ahead of us, Mustache.
You know what stood out to me like crazy watching this back for the first time in quite a while? In the very first scene where we see Shrek and Fiona on their honeymoon, in a 1 minute span, they vandalize the house that they're staying in. Fiona feeds a mermaid to sharks just because she was unlucky enough to wash up on shore into Shrek's arms. And Shrek sticks a bunch of fairies in glass jars just to put them through one of the gnarliest Dutch ovens ever created by him and Fiona's farts. In the opening minutes, they show that they are indeed ogres and should be judged.
And again, it reinforces the idea that Shrek is destroying Fiona's upbringing. Ogres are exactly what people think they are. But on top of that, like we spoke about earlier, everything he does at Fairy Godmother's factory is bad, whether it's lying, vandalism, theft, assault, you name it. And this retard even has the gall to drink a potion that he thinks will permanently alter himself and Fiona without even reading the warning label. In addition to all that, Shrek is totally okay letting Fiona get horribly bamboozled until he uncovers the conspiracy to magically force her to fall in love with Prince Charming. Like throughout these movies, Shrek continues to reinforce that ogres do not have layers. Because what do you get when you peel back the layers of an onion? All you get is more onion. And the same is true with ogres. They aren't deep, they aren't profound, they're exactly what we think they are.
Kind of crazy that was like the most famous line of
That was catnip or rugs?
Shrek 1, when every layer of an onion is just as stinky as the last and looks the exact same.
But it just shows you, like, the entire purpose of movie number 1, and even a lot of the other movies, it's don't believe your lying eyes. Whenever you have ogres or even immigrants who come into your society and are wreaking havoc.
Okay, wait. We shouldn't let the bad actions of 259 259, 553 Somalians ruin it for the other 30. Oh God.
Just don't notice the bad stuff that they do. Is that not the message of these films?
Another thing I want to look at in Shrek 2 is the consistent normalization of degenerate behavior. There's a lot of oddly sexual content in this for a children's movie. Like we mentioned earlier, Jeffrey Katzenberg, the executive producer, he had a reputation for pushing the envelope when it comes to morality, even in movies themed more for kids.
Well, and keep in mind some of the things that Katzenberg has been doing outside of the...
Okay, wait. Kettleberg has been involved in politics as an election donor with active support with active support of Hillary and Barack Obama. He was named one of Hollywood's primo political kingmakers and one of the Democratic Party's top national fundraisers. He served as campaign as wait, he served as a campaign co-chair for Joe Biden's 2024 presidential election campaign as and substitutely Kamala Harris's 2024 presidential campaign. Yo, our man was fucking going door to door.
Film industry.
Door to
Katzenberg
door
has
with
been
the
funding
money.
crap like the GSLEN for a long time. Now that stands for Gay, Straight, Lesbian Education Network. This organization works
Oh.
with schools to teach them to be more tolerant of this degeneracy.
And can I
Oh.
translate what that actually means? When you say teaching not to hate, it means putting them on a pedestal and accepting them as they are, just like Shrek, flaws and all, and never holding them to account for horrible behavior. I think that very point explains a lot of the nonsense you see in this movie.
And there is a lot. Dude, did you catch that line that the fairy godmother uses? The first time the fairy godmother meets Fiona and she sings her song, she says,
They'll write your name on the bathroom wall.
For a happy ever after, give Fiona a call.
I did not even pick that up, but man, how fitting.
I'm telling you, dude, this stuff's bad.
They choose to use the words gender confused wolf to describe the wolf that is dressed in women's clothing that Charming finds when he goes to rescue Fiona.
Oh, and speaking of people being dressed in women's clothing, for whatever reason, they thought it was appropriate to put Pinocchio in a thong.
And that's one of those that I remember
Oh,
even as
yeah.
a kid, I always thought that one was super weird
Wait,
and out of
ew.
place, and it hits even worse now.
Wait,
Oh,
wait, wait,
yeah.
wait.
What is the purpose
Wait, what? Hold on, wait. Let me wait. I just graded that. Like, wait, what? No.
Those that I remember even as a kid.
Why? Oh, God. This is a kids movie.
I always thought that one was super weird and out of place, and it hits even worse now.
Oh, yeah. What is the purpose of this? And you can say it's a funny joke, but jokes are often the medium
That's a
that people
kid's
use to
movie.
desensitize you to more nefarious things.
Well, and to that point, we see by a picture in the deleted scenes of the DVD of Shrek 2 that the fairy godmother helps the ugly stepsister transition.
Also, keep in
Oh.
mind, you can see this in the actual
Oh, God.
film itself. You don't even have to have the DVD. Like, whenever you watch it, you can see right outside the room where she's crafting the potions, there's a before and after picture of the ugly stepsister, where you see this happen.
Which confirms that he transitioned to a woman in the film's universe. And what's even crazier, this Troon, the ugly stepsister, goes on to force himself onto Prince Charming immediately after Charming's mother gets killed. And they play this like it's for laughs. And this is becoming all too common in a lot of media, where as long as the target is a straight white male, everyone's allowed to laugh at his misfortune, even when he's not deserving of it. I can already hear people now saying, dude, it's a freaking joke in a kid's movie. But
No.
what comes to my mind are
That shouldn't be in a kids movie.
these things that we thought were so innocent back in the day, like, say, a Mrs. Doubtfire. It's like, oh, a man dressing in woman's clothing, he's not supposed to
No.
do that. Oh, that's funny. We can all have a laugh, surely.
No.
But that's where they start, and they keep putting more in, push the line, until we're such boiled frogs that we don't even notice that which used to be clearly a joke is now being
Comedy, 1990 comedy. Yeah, now it's, now it's that. Now it's real.
taken seriously. And I'm gonna go real schizo for this last point, but it's gotta be said. It is not lost on me that there are 3 separate examples of species mixing in this film. Shrek and Fiona, because remember, Fiona at her core is
Is a
a
human.
human. And
Yeah.
even in the first film, when Shrek got with Fiona, they
She's a
didn't know how
human.
the curse worked. So for all they knew, she was going to stay human. You have Harold and Lillian. Again,
Who's a
Harold is a
frog and a
frog.
human.
Lillian's a human. And last but not least, Donkey and Dragon. And in that last case, it results in little mutant freak babies.
I mean, okay. As much as probably everyone's going to sit there and say, "Oh no, what the hell's wrong with me? What the hell's wrong with me?" I can see a little bit with Donkey and the Dragon. A little teeny in my crazy fucked up mind. And that's it. That's the only how I can see. I can see at least the Donkey and the Dragon. A little bit working. And the only reason how I can sit there working is quite frank is the freaking is a freaking tall girl and a small young man freaking against the wall. And like that, donkey being the small and the dragon, just being probably like a hot dragon lady or whatever. And that's it. That's it.
When it comes to this subtle miscegenation propaganda in media, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. But fool me 3 times, and I'm starting to see the Star of David when I close my eyes.
My spidey senses are tingling. It also doesn't help that a lot of the men in this film are really weak and exist only to be led by the women. The entire conflict of this movie could have simply been avoided if Shrek had only nutted up and refused to listen to Fiona.
Disrespect the women! Subjugate those hoes!
And they also make Shrek a bit of a cuck in this movie. In the first movie, he risked his life to break up the wedding, killed Farquaad, and destroyed Duloc in the process of getting with Fiona. And in Shrek 2, he just immediately accepts another man taking her as his wife because he sees Fiona hug Prince Charming one time. And the justification is knowing, or at least thinking, that she'll be happier with him. By the way, it was Fairy Godmother that gaslit him into believing this, despite him knowing that she hates him. Why would you ever believe any of this?
Yeah,
Shrek's a retard in this movie.
And where was this energy with my short king Farquaad, man? You didn't stop to say maybe she'll be happier with a literal king in a perfect kingdom with no problems? No. Surely I've got to break this up, but Prince Charming giving her a little side hug? Oh,
it's fine.
Liberty Bibbity.
Oh, I'm not.
That's my name. Your name's Liberty.
And it also bothers me that Harold eventually comes to accept Shrek because Fiona loves him and Lillian's also nagging him throughout the whole movie. Like, Lillian is the perfect modern liberal white woman. She is more than happy to die for the minorities that care nothing about her and want to replace her, and she thinks she's making a difference. And it all just goes to show, man.
Okay, wait. Women afraid to walk alone at night. OTW to vote for to vote for policies that put more criminals on the street. Dumb criminal. Oh, good.
And Harold never should have accepted Shrek. Like, Shrek correctly asserts that, like it or not, he's an ogre and he's not changing. And keep in mind that because of this decision to allow Shrek to stay and to accept him, that eventually ends up in the third movie with a quote-unquote massive loser eventually going on to become king. And by the way, Artie in the third movie never stops being a massive loser. He just identifies as not a loser and the movie calls it a day.
Harold's entire character feels like a caricature that you see in a lot of media, and this goes way back. He's like that classic sitcom dad that's dumb, lazy, and really only...
Okay, wait, okay. Hey, hold up now. Al Budd now. Al Bundy is great. Al Bundy is fucking great now. Homer. Okay. Al Bundy, Homer, Peter, and I can't freaking remember his name. This was from Malcolm in the Middle. Okay. All the guys, right? Okay. All four of these men right here, all four of these fathers, right? All four of them, I would say, were good. They were all freaking good at the start of their shows. At the start of right, at the start of them, like the first few seasons or whatever, right? The first few seasons, I think Al's just a run, I'll say okay. Al is basically what I would say, quite frank, would end up being, quite frank, a little bit, but I'm not explaining this right. But okay, if you go watch Al Bundy, if you go watch him, though I'd say you have there's some takes in there that quite frank people are not gonna like. Uh, just saying, just give you a warning. There's gonna be some stuff in there that you probably gonna get pissed off about. You gotta have a sense of humor, and you gotta be able to take some laughs. But regardless, Homer and Peter, I would say they was good. They was good too. Like at the first few seasons, but after like the season after like a few like five like 4, 5, 6 seasons or whatever, they just turned them fucking dumb. They just turned them freaking dumb, and I mean, it's all right now and then. They come back and show a bit of seriousness every now and then. But other than that, they killed them. Just cause, quite frankly, they just killed them, which is depressing. Really is depressing because quite frank, um, Peter, Peter, Peter and Homer is somewhat in the earliest seasons. You could look up, you could say, all right, that's what I'm talking about. That those are some good fathers right there. But after the few seasons, it just went downhill. It just went fucking down. It's sad too. It's sad.
He succeeded because he married a strong liberal woman that kept him in line. And of course, they went right back to the well with the short monarch trope again. Like, oh, Harold's got to be compensating for something.
Never mind that the guy who kept making that joke in Shrek 1, Jeffrey Katzenberg, is 5'6". Can't make it up, dude.
And to that same point, all of Prince Charming's agency is removed from him because of his overbearing mother. He does have some brief moments where his inner Chad comes out, but a lot of his masculine instincts are always suppressed by his overbearing mother. And when you think of all the men in this film, imagine what they could have been if they freed themselves from these destructive feminine fantasies. Shrek would still be happy living his days out in the swamp. Harold could have freed himself from his debt to Fairy Godmother and not had ogre grandbabies. And Prince Charming might become a man worthy of the crown if only his mom would take him off puberty blockers.
But to wrap this thing up, I kind of feel like we're coming back full circle here, which is where we ended the last video, which is that Farquaad Chads stay winning, dude. Fairy Godmother, Shrek, and Harold are all fairy tale creatures, and basically all of them cause all of the problems you see in Far, Far Away, which further vindicates Farquaad's position about the
Farquaad was right. Farquaad was right. It's dumb damn fucking fairy tale creatures.
in the first movie. Farquaad was right about the outsiders. They belong outside where they can't
Let's see. Wait a minute. Let's see. I'm not a boy. Wait, I'm not a boy or a girl. Where do I pee?
destroy or corrupt your perfect
Outside.
society. R.I.P. King.
Okay, wait, okay. It is necessary. It is necessary that I should die for my people, but my spirit will rise from the grave, and the whole world will know that I was right. Lord Farquaad. Oh, man. Wow. Yeah, that's it's such greatness. Such fucking greatness right there. Such fucking greatness. Anywho, yeah, that's about it. I'll say thank you all for coming. Please like the video, subscribe, and all that stuff. I hope you all enjoyed. Shrek 2 was darker the older you get. Um, but tomorrow it's going to be tomorrow's gonna be? It's gonna be Castella and possibly what's the video? Possibly something. I still need to make the like the channel update video. I'm probably gonna do that tomorrow, probably in the morning. But I don't know. Anyway, thank you all for coming. I'll see you all next time. Also, tell me what you think about my little picture right here. He's so cute, didn't he? Um, I'm gonna try and do some more with them. But this might be like for my like night type, like a night picture or something like that. But anyway, I was like, thank you all for coming. Oh, I'm still working on the schedule and all that stuff. I'm hopefully I can hear back from a few people. Um, But yeah, that's about it. So thank you all for coming, and I'll see you all next time. Oh, also, I will say I'm still trying to get commissions and commissions done for do the commissions and stuff like that for the actual cuteness of them to get them all more colorful and all that stuff and not rely on AI but yeah, but anyway, thank you all for coming, and I'll see you next time again. Um, but also, I might, I might. Okay, I'm gonna try. Okay, with him. Okay, with him, I'm gonna try and add like a body pillow with Nanami on it right here. I don't know how well that's gonna go. I'm gonna try and see if I can make it work. Thank you all for coming, and I'll see you all next time.